Hi, I'm Sarah with the Volusia County Public Library System, coming at you from the Ormond Beach Regional Library. And today on this episode of Volusia Gets Crafty, I'm going to show you how to create this bell ornament. It's beginner friendly and primarily uses double crochet stitches along with some chains and slip stitches. And I also want to encourage you to check out our crochet book collection at volusialibrary.org or on one of our digital platforms like Hoopla, where you'll find titles like these. So whenever you're ready, go out and grab a hook and some yarn, and we'll create this little bell ornament together. Okay, so we're going to get started with our first holiday ornament, which is our crocheted bell. Now this is going to primarily use the double crochet stitches, and it's 5 rounds. We start at the top and work our way down. And what I found when I did my practice ones is that it was better to size down to a 4mm crochet hook. This yarn here called for a 5.5mm. But I found it that the bell was a little bit more loose and it looked a little sloppier. So if you have a smaller hook, don't be afraid to size down. So we're going to start by making a slip knot and getting that on our hook. And we're going to start by chaining 4. So yarn over your hook and pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's our 4 chains. We're going to then put 11 double crochets into the very first chain you made. So we're going to yarn over our hook and insert into the top loop of that very first chain. Put your yarn over your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 1. We're going to put 10 more. So 10 more double crochets. And this is a little different from how we've done things in the past. We've often made a circle and gone into the center of it, but this is another way you can do it by going into that very first chain, because it's going to work all the way around. So I'll let you continue on until you have 11 more double crochets, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we've made it all the way around our circle, and if you've done it right, you'll have 11 double crochets and then also this chain 3 at the beginning, and this is where we're going to slip stitch to, so that counts as a double crochet. That's those 3 skipped chains from the beginning. So what we'll do is that'll count as our 12th. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 by pulling through and pulling through. And then to start our second row, we're going to chain up 3. And then into the very next stitch, the top of that stitch, the little V, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So be sure to get under both of those loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And put 1 more into that same stitch. In the next stitch, you're just going to put 1 double crochet by itself. And then 2 into the next. So that'll be our repeat pattern. 2 double crochets in one stitch, and then 1 by itself in the next. So you're going to continue that around. So 2 in the next, 1 by itself, 2 in the next, 1 by itself. And I'll meet you up when we get back around to the other side. Okay, so I've made my way around and I'm getting towards the end. So I've just done my 1 double crochet by itself, and I've got to do another 2 together in the next stitch. But I wanted you to see here at the ending, because here was our chain 3 from that first round and then our chain 3 of this round. See how that all went up together? We had slip stitched, and so sometimes people can get kind of confused with this. You've got a stitch here and then it almost looks like another stitch here. But this isn't anything that you want to deal with. This one right here, that's just how we joined with a slip stitch, so it's an extra bit. So that isn't a stitch, just this one right here. So that's the only one we're going to go into, and we're going to put 2 double crochets right in there. And then we're back at the 1 that we had started with, so it continues that pattern. So you're going to go into the top of the chain 3, try to get under 2 loops, and you're going to do a slip stitch, so pull through and pull through. And you've just completed round 2. So round 3 is pretty easy. You're going to chain up 3, And if you had done this row right too, I wanted to to let you know you should have about 18 double crochets, including that chain 3 at the beginning, going all the way around. So what we're going to do is put 1 double crochet in each of those 18 stitches. So you should have 18 by the time you get back around this way. So their chain 3 counts as 1. We're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, which is right here, the little V. Get under both loops and do a double crochet and a double crochet into each stitch all the way around. If you need to count to yourself as you go so you don't lose track, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just keep counting. And once you hit 18, you know you're done, but I'll meet you back once we get all the way around. Okay, so I've come back around round 3, and I'm at my last one. I just wanted to show you again. Here's your last stitch, and then there's this extra little one that's kind of slanting up, which we're going to ignore. So it's just this last stitch here. I'm going to put my last double crochet into there, the top of the stitch, and I'm going to connect with a slip stitch to the top of that first chain 3 that we made. Like that. And if you thought that was hard, you're going to love the next one because it's a repeat of that same row. So we're going to chain up 3, and this is just growing the bell, making it just a little bit longer, and we're going to put another double crochet into each stitch all the way around. So 18 before, you'll have 18 by the end of this round as well. So going into the tops of those stitches and putting your double crochets, and I will meet you back in just a second once we get to the other end. Okay, so I've made my way around round 4, and I've done my last double crochet, and remembering that there's this little extra piece we're not worrying about, that little slanty guy. He's nothing that we need to concern ourselves with, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Pull through and pull through. Okay, so now we're going into round 5, which is our last round. And this one we're going to start with a chain 3, and we're going to go into that same place where we slip stitch. So the top of the chain 3 where we slip stitched, you'll see like a little gapping hole right here. We're going to go right back in there and do another double crochet. So there's 2 in that same space. And that is what we're going to do all the way around. Now this one here, the next one can be easy to miss and it would throw off your count. But here's your first chain 3. And then this right here is your next stitch, right? Your next post. So follow that up and you'll see here's your next top of the stitch, and it kind of can be overshadowed by one of these double crochets, and you might skip it and just go into the next one, but don't. You want to be sure to get it. So get under both of the loops of that V and put 2 double crochets in that one. And then from here on out it's easier to see the stitches, but you're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. All right, so you're going to repeat that all the way around, doing 2 in each stitch, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I've just completed round 5. I've done my last 2 double crochets in my very last stitch, once again ignoring that little slanty guy there, and we're going to put our slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 that we started with. Okay, so if you've done it right, we doubled it, right? Because we put 2 in each, so you should end up with 36 double crochets going all the way around. And this is going to create the little ruffle at the bottom of the bell. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to fasten off, so you can cut your yarn, and you can weave in your tail ends. And if you need to flip it inside out, you can trim this little one that we started with, and you don't need to worry about weaving that one in so much because it's inside the bell, right? All right. Okay, so our bell is complete with the exception we need to put the little hanger that goes on the top. So how we're going to do that is we're going to create a slip knot and get a little mini one on your hook, and then take that off. Okay, and be sure to have a nice long tail with that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to find this very first round that we did with all the double crochets real tight, and you're going to go in between 2 of the posts and then up through the top center of the hat. Okay, that's when you're going to latch on your little mini knot, and you're going to pull up the loop through that hole. We're going to chain 15 So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you're going to kind of come on the opposite side of the bell from where you went in, come back down into the center and between two other posts kind of on the other side of the bell. And we're going to do a slip stitch. So however you can pull that through, and then you're also pulling it through the one on your hook. Okay, we're going to chain 1 because that's going to secure it. Snip your yarn and pull it tight, and there's your hanger. And then what we'll do is take our needle and we're going to thread these tails down into the center of our bell on the inside so that they're kind of hidden. So just push them down the middle. And then they'll be out of your way and your bell will look polished and pretty. Okay, you can flip it inside out. Now at this point you could go ahead and weave in your ends. I'm just going to trim them for the sake of time, but you could weave those in if you wanted to, but since it's the inside of the bell, nobody's going to see that. Okay, and there's our finished bell, and you can kind of just shape it how you'd like. I tried it by alternating colors each round if you wanted to create like a candy cane effect, or you can just use other holiday colors and create a nice assortment for your decorations for your home for the holidays. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can check out more like it on our Volusia Library's YouTube channel. We also offer free access to Creative Bug through our website, so you can take some time and explore that content as well. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.